I'm Banjo Ben. Welcome to banjobenclark.com. This is your home for instructional videos and tabs for banjo, mandolin, and guitar. Today is an exciting lesson because it's a very integral and important part of your banjo playing, especially those of you who are wanting to learn how to play the banjo. This is the lesson for you. You see, the song that I've just played there, that's the first part of an old tune called Old Joe Clark. And it's made up of just rolls, okay? We have several very important right-hand roll patterns that you need to know as a banjo player. And we're going to cover those in this lesson. Because at the end of the day, most of the songs that we play and most of these licks that you hear are all made up of rolls, or at least parts of rolls. But what's more important than that is how to put those rolls together, how to put them back to back, and choose different parts of which roll to use. So what we're going to do is cover the 4 basic rolls. There's only 4 of them. Anybody can learn them. Okay, we're going to cover the 4 of them, and then we're going to also learn how to incorporate those rolls together and start building them into chords and use them in our backup, perhaps when other people are singing or other people are playing. It's going to be a fun lesson. Let's cover those 4 rolls right now. Alright y'all, let's talk about the most basic of the basic, and that's our forward roll. You know, the first time you ever picked up a banjo and you sat here and you looked at those 5 strings and you looked at your right hand, you thought, how do these 2 things go together? This is probably one of the first things that you did, and you're doing it even if you knew that you, or didn't know that you were doing it, and that's just this basic forward roll, one finger right after the other. We grow up doing this in all kinds of things, so it's just natural that we'd want to do this forward roll. And so, but there's several different variations of that, and I'd like to explain those to you and explain how to properly do a forward roll. Let's bring up the split screen over here. Poof. Or is it the other? Oh yeah, poof. And let's get the tab printed out for this because I really want you to follow along closely with this. So go over and click on Banjo tabs, download the tabs for the banjo rolls, and we'll be good to go. Let's start out with the most basic forward roll. We're going to pick out 3 strings to use. We're going to first play our top G string, our high G string, with our thumb. Then we're going to follow that with an index finger or middle finger on the middle G string, and then our middle finger on this high D string. One right after the other, just like this. That's simple enough, right? That sounds nice. You're doing a good job. Let's put those together, one right after the other. Now that's simple enough to get down, but you know, that's not our only forward roll that we have, because we talked about how many strings there were. There's 5. So we're not always just stuck playing these 3 strings. We want to be able to manipulate and grab any of these strings that we want. So it's best whenever we practice our rolls that we work those in. So let's talk about another variant. Let's keep our thumb and our middle finger the same, but let's switch our index finger from playing that middle G string to moving up to that B string right there. It would sound like this. Simple, right? Thumb, index, middle. Let's put those back to back. Ready? Good job. Now let's keep going. We can't stop here. I know there are songs eventually we're going to use more strings than this. So let's perhaps switch those up just a little bit. Let's do one roll through using our index finger on our middle G string there. And then let's follow that right next with a forward roll using our index finger on the B string. Okay? Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Good job. Good job. Now let's throw one more kink into the equation here. So far we've only used our thumb on this high G string, but did you know that our thumb has to be the most mobile of all of our fingers when we play the banjo? It's true. It is true. Right now we're just playing the high G string, but our thumb, as we progress in the banjo, is going to end up playing all of these strings. That may seem like a really foreign concept to you right now, but it's not before too long if you stick with me. We're going to learn how to use our thumb on all of these strings. So let's go ahead and start that process right now. If you're following along there on your tab, let's start this forward roll with our thumb on the middle G string, okay? Right there. So where would our next two fingers fall? Well, let's have our index finger on the B string and our middle finger on the high D string. That's not too hard, right? Now, let's try to alternate some of these patterns back and forth. If you'll follow along with me on your tab there, measure 7, we're going to start with that, then we're going to go back to our thumb using the high G string, then alternating back and forth. We call this an alternating thumb, right? The other two fingers are remaining the same, but our thumb is jumping back and forth each time the pattern begins. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I'm sure that you can think of some other variations for our forward roll as well. We have 3 fingers and we have 5 strings, so you statisticians out there can figure out exactly how many different combinations we can possibly have. But that alternating thumb is a great thing to work on. We're going to continue working on that as we uncover these other rolls. We've covered 1. We have 3 more left. And now we're going to after that, we're going to put the rolls into chords. We're going to start incorporating our left hand and figuring out how to string them all together so that you can play along with your favorite song. Let's uncover this next roll, the backwards roll.
It's been